All right. Good evening and welcome to the Grafton Board of Health April 8th, 2019 meeting. Have a motion to open.
Motion to open?
Second.
Aye.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Sorry, got there.
All right. First up, Alliance update.
All right, I have my monthly inspection for the month of March in front of everyone.
All right.
We had 16 routines. I will just list off the ones that had critical or red violations. One of them going on the list on the left-hand side, number 7 for Grafton Pizza. They had improper thawing methods. They were thawing food out overnight. Went there in the morning and the food was in the 60s, so that was disposed of on site in front of me. On the right-hand side, Pro Cafe was keeping their deli slicer clean, which was corrected on site. Rick's Hilltop, getting the soda guns cleaned up. And that's it for red ones. Other than that, a couple non-critical ones, which is general cleaning and things like that. For general complaints, we have 5 of them. One being 53 Carroll Road, which was a air quality issue, which is essentially almost all completed. It was already in the works when we got the call, but soon to be completed, which is great news.
Okay, good.
99 North Main, the second floor unit, we got a mold and dirty vent complaint. When I went there, I didn't find any mold-like substance, or the vents appeared pretty clean, nothing coming out of them, as stated in the complaint. The third one is 95 Buttercup Lane. That was a no heat complaint, which has since been resolved. 213 Worcester Street was a rats and potential illegal dumping. At 213 Worcester Street, I didn't see any signs of illegal dumping or rats, so just monitoring the area for rat control, things like that. And then the last one, Triano Trucking, we had 4 rat complaints.
4?
4. We've been going out there, I'd probably say at least once a week, just to do site visits, walk around. I would definitely say within the past month he's made significant progress in terms of cleaning up the property. Initially it seemed there was a lot of food being stored out, or old food being stored outside, which within the past month most of it, if not all of it, has been cleaned up.
Okay.
And now we're working on like specific sections in terms of cleaning it up and just kind of monitoring the rats over there. We do believe, or possibly believe, that people are seeing them now more because the food source is gone, or the main food source is gone, so now they're kind of venturing off, trying to
Searching.
find more food
Yep.
elsewhere. So there has been progress, and it looks like it's doing good so far.
And has there been anything on like the DEP notice or whatever it was called that?
So that's, I don't know the full aspect of that. That's more for permitting issues. He has, I want to say, 2 or 3 different state agencies involved for the permits he's trying to get, for the permits he's trying to obtain for the animal feed that he's been working on.
Right.
So, last time I talked to him, which was last Thursday, he had said within probably the next week, he's hoping to have approval to be fully up and
Okay.
operating on that aspect, so. But they do, from what I understand from what he's been telling me, is they do a site walkthrough. He has to have like an engineer or someone come, I think every couple of weeks, just do a site visit, check on everything, so. They get all different kinds of reports from him as well. So. And that's that. You guys have any questions on any of that stuff?
No, no.
All right.
All right, a couple other quick things from the monthly update just to bring to your attention. On April 17th, which is next Wednesday, is our quarterly Alliance meeting. It's going to be at the West Boylston Town Hall from 12:30 to 2. So as always, we encourage anyone that's available to attend that meeting. On the environmental health side, just a couple reminders as we come into pool season and farmers market season, to make sure that everything's getting prepared so that things can start to get scheduled for inspections, because I know for the environmental health team that's an incredibly busy time when everyone wants to open up their pool or camp or farmer's market all at the same exact time, now that the weather's nice. So just a reminder to coordinate that with the environmental health team. Also coming up on the nursing side, Besides the regular blood pressure clinic at the Grafton Housing Authority and the blood pressure clinic at the senior center, there's also going to be a hands-only CPR training on April 17th, I believe at the senior center, as well as a prescription drug safety opioid presentation on April 18th by the DA's office, I believe also at the senior center. So 2 additional things coming up this month as well. And other than that, that is about it. If anyone has any questions on anything else that they saw on there.
Nothing special going on with the hepatitis A until after the call on Wednesday, right?
Right, so there's a call coming up on Wednesday, the 10th at 10 a.m. Knock on wood, things have quieted down.
Okay.
So it's been a couple weeks where there haven't been any new cases. So hopefully all of the vaccination efforts, I forget at this point how many clinics and how many people Pat and her team has vaccinated with community partners, but hundreds of people at this point. So it seems to really have slowed it down. And there has not been, although they are also providing vaccine for meningitis, there have not been any confirmed cases in the
Okay.
city. So,
My next question,
yes.
measles.
So it's funny you say that. We actually, Karen and I just met the other day with Pat on a bunch of different things, and I said, you know, there's a lot of talk about measles and the high numbers this year. So we actually have that on our next. We have weekly meetings. To really talk about, okay, you know, what can we proactively just messaging, reminder, what can we be doing? Because it seems like now every day you hear more and more about the number of cases that are coming out nationwide. So that's definitely, I think, going to be on the radar.
Okay.
Because at some point it's going to get to a level where now the public may start to ask questions and be a little more nervous
Yeah,
about
we
it. So
have.
certainly that's on our radar to be a little proactive with messaging for that.
Okay. That's all I had.
The only thing under that, shingles vaccine is coming in
Yes.
slowly.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's
we
right.
have 10.
Well, we're getting some slowly.
Yes.
Oh,
So we have 10 doses, we have 20 doses, which will
Mm-hmm.
cover 10 people. Another 10 came in, which will cover 5. We're waiting for 5 more, so we can do 20 people at a time.
okay, yep.
So we'll have the first clinic, then the second clinic, when they get their second shot, the next group will get their first shot, and we'll keep
Okay.
going until we
Okay.
hit 100.
Nice,
That's our
okay.
goal.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
And you can only order 5 at a
At
time.
a time. So it
Well, yeah,
takes
because,
a little
I mean,
while to stop.
I mean, they were
following
talking
up.
a whole year worth of backlog,
Right.
because I don't
Well, I
think they
guess the
really
fact that you're
expected
getting-
the government and all the health insurance to latch on that fast.
1 to
Right.
2 months for, by the time I order it.
To get some.
I get it.
Get it, wow.
So hopefully sometime over the summer.
And into the fall.
Okay.
Yeah. So the plan is 20, run a clinic with 20 people?
Right.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Good, Josh?
Yeah.
All right. Jump, I know we're a few minutes early, but if you want to, no point in having you sit around for 7 minutes
Thank you.
twiddling your thumb.
Thank you. That's good, 'cause I have a meeting in Oxford. at
Oh, yeah.
7:15. So good evening, my name's Norman Hill.
Evening.
I'm an engineer with the Company of Land Planning, headquartered here in Grafton. And tonight I represent,
Sit down. He's asking you
So
to
he
sit
can take a
down so
picture,
that
yeah,
way he can
see you.
Otherwise, he's probably getting you like no head. You're probably just getting like to here.
tonight I'm representing Mr. and Mrs. Paul Susi. And I would like to start by handing out 2 photographs to you. One is an aerial view looking down on the cul-de-sac and the surrounding houses. And the other is a frontal view of their house. It's looking down at the neighborhood. Putnam Lane, this is 11 Putnam Lane, and it's off of Miriam Road
Okay.
in North Grafton.
you.
So they've lived there a number of years. Just to give you an idea what their house looks like. Now, the son is moving back with his family. So the son with his family would like to move into the house, and Paul and his wife would like to build an addition, so when they come home from Florida in the summers, they can live in the addition. Now, the existing house is a 3-bedroom house. The addition is going to add a bedroom, so they'd like to have a 4-bedroom house. So, I'm here to ask you 2 things tonight. The first thing I'm going to ask you is, I believe the existing septic system is big enough to handle a 4-bedroom house. The reason I feel that way, by the way, I'm a civil engineer, licensed all the Board of Health things, is it was designed as a standard 3-bedroom system, but then they added a fast secondary treatment system. And when you have a fast secondary treatment system, it says you get a 50% reduction in the required size of the system. So this system actually, by today's standards, is adequate for 660 gallons a day, which is good for a 6-bedroom house. And we would like the board to say, yes, it's adequate for a 4-bedroom house. Right? Never run into this before in 40 years of doing this.
Neither have we.
Now, the second thing I'm going to ask you is quite complicated and has to do with something called an aggregate loading plan. DEP says you have to have at least 10,000 square feet of land area for every bedroom. If you have your own septic and well, which just has it, they have their own septic and well here, so that's the standard they have to live by. But it says you can aggregate the neighborhood, the entire subdivision can be aggregated, and it was when it was first designed, because they have 18 acres of open space. They have about 18 acres on the 14 lots, but most of the lots are only 3/4 of an acre, as this lot is only 3/4 of an acre. So this lot is only just under 30,000, it's like 29,400 square feet. By DEP standards, you'd be limited to 3 bedrooms, no more than 3 bedrooms. But because they have these 18 acres of associated open space, DEP says if you prepare a document, record it at the Registry of Deeds, specify how many bedrooms each lot is allowed, you can add in the area of the open space to the area of the lots and take the average. So that's what happened. So the next thing I'm going to hand out is a copy of the subdivision. I've only the one, but I've colored 2 things on here. The yellow is our lot, the Susie's lot, Lot 5, and the pink is all the open space. Let me pass this around. So the yellow is lot number 5. So when this project was approved, the agreement and the aggregate loading plan was lots 1 through 5 would be 3-bedroom, lots 6 through 14 would be 4-bedroom. So I'm here tonight to ask you for permission to amend that aggregate loading plan to say that lots 1 through 4 shall remain as 3-bedroom, but we're going to push lot 5 into the 4-bedroom agreement. So lot 5 would become allowed to have a 4th bedroom. So I don't have that agreement prepared for you tonight, and I'm not asking you to approve the agreement tonight. I'm just asking you to agree in principle to allow my client to have his lawyer amend that agreement and all the associated documents, get it approved by DEP, and bring it back to you for approval. All right? So those are the 2 things I'm asking you. Is the existing septic system adequate for a 4-bedroom house? And will my client be allowed to go forward with amending the aggregate loading plan? And I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
As I mentioned, we haven't run into anything like this ever because we looked.
Twice on one lot.
And so I don't know, I mean, I can't speak for the rest of the board members. I don't feel comfortable not having been part of this or ever running into this, doing anything without DEP's approval first.
Yeah, well, we're not asking you to do anything. We're just
Yeah.
asking to give us permission.
Value, it looks okay, but we got 2 different opinions from folks on our side that work and do like the septic inspections, and they're differing opinions.
Oh, really?
One says okay, one says no go until DEP blesses it and then come back to us. So that even made it more confusing, shall we say, having never seen something like this before.
Yeah. yeah.
for us to say, but yeah, I mean, I can say from my standpoint, out of principle, it sounds okay, but without DEP weighing in and blessing it, I wouldn't feel comfortable approving anything at this point.
Yes, yes. All right, and I agree with that. The normal approval steps as we walk this down the line is the Board of Health would approve it first, and then DEP would approve it, and then it gets recorded. So you see why I'm here with you tonight is because I'm asking you, in principle, I'll ask you to approve the document because it's going to cost him thousands of dollars to have his lawyer revise this document and bring it back to you. So before you went to all that expense and effort, just wanted to run it by you, see if it was, I'm not asking you to approve the document. All I'm asking you is just approve not even approve, but just say to me, yeah, go ahead and amend that, and if DEP approves it, we'll approve it. You know, I just don't want him to spend all that money without at least an okay from you guys.
So you basically want us to say, yes, we think it would be okay if DEP agrees.
Yes, yep, yep.
Do you guys have any thoughts?
I think, was Phil the one that
It was
agreed
Phil
to
and-
it?
Fill in, but Brian,
Phil and Brian.
Phil and Brian too. I'm not too familiar with it. I don't have that much background knowledge on it, nor expertise on the subject quite yet.
So I know that the lot was only supposed to have so many bedrooms for the entire,
3 bedrooms forever, yep. One thing I didn't mention was the average acreage. So if
right,
this were to
is
go
much
forward,
smaller than,
yeah, but if this were to go forward, they would be averaging over 27,000 square feet of area per bedroom, which is 2.5 times what's required on the average. But right now, it's 28,000 square feet per bedroom in this subdivision. If you would allow this house to have one more bedroom, then the average would be reduced to about 27,400 square feet per bedroom, which is 2.5 times what the minimum is that's required in an aggregate plan.
one other piece of feedback I'm just looking through was, it says, so systems designed for houses with 9 or more rooms are based on adding the total number of rooms in the house divided by 2, rounding down to the lower whole number, depending on what this addition was going to have for the total number of rooms. Let's say, as an example, 11, for example, then you would be at a higher,
Might need a 4.5, 5 bedroom
Yeah.
authorization.
5 bedrooms,
yes, that's
yeah.
5-bedroom.
Yeah, I haven't done that calculation. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
I haven't
This
looked at
was
how many
just
bedrooms,
like
but
this person guessing, obviously not knowing how big an addition, let alone how many rooms necessarily would end up totaling.
yeah, so I think I should rephrase my first request in that, limit it to 4 bedrooms, using either formula, either how many physical bedrooms or how many total rooms, but I would come back to you with that calculation once I see the floor plans of the proposed addition. Because if we exceed 4, we'd have to design for more than 4, yeah. So I'm not asking to approve the septic design, and again, just the concept, yeah.
and then that would certainly restrict anybody and everybody in the rest of the division for ever wanting to do that, because we're already maxed at whatever number of bedrooms or bathrooms or whatever it may be. We're already maxed, and now we're gonna allow an additional, so then are we gonna set a precedence for other people in that development who may wanna do the same thing?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that you're maxed out, because right now it's at 1 bedroom for every 28,000 square feet. And you have to have no more than, you have to have 10,000 square feet per bedroom. We're 2.5 times the, so it's quite possible someone else might come back and ask for this in the future. And I wouldn't want to forego them having that opportunity, because there's plenty of area. Then, yeah, they're out in the middle of nowhere, and 17 acres are right behind them, and there's another, and it's not in an aquifer protection zone either.
I mean, the initial approval was granted based on 51 total bedrooms for the
Yes.
development.
Yes,
Right,
yep,
and that's the initial approval from DEP.
yes.
So this would be
How do they
bringing,
make that decision? Do we have any idea how they?
no, I don't.
Oh no,
That's
I
why I
don't
feel
know
we
if
certainly
it's-
need,
I feel like if there was a document here from Phil or
right.
DEP, we would all just say for the most part, like, yeah, we agree. I would.
Did you remember when the first approval started that lot?
Hold on, I'm looking back to see if it's in anything here.
It'd be on that subdivision plan,
Yeah, that
or on this plan.
subdivision.
I believe the original septic design's dated 2004. Yeah.
Yeah, restricting the house to 3 bedrooms, no garbage grinders. Oh, yeah, that's the same one that I've got. So that's 2001. When was the last time he pumped out his system, by the way?
He's not here.
Oh, so you have no idea?
I don't know. I did go through the record at the Board of Health, and the fast system's been inspected every 2 years faithfully with good results on that inspection. That's all in the record.
Been pumped since 16, I believe.
Hasn't been pumped since 16?
16 or 17.
Yeah, so this was the town engineer at the time.
So if I may say this, if you would decide to make a motion tonight, you would certainly make it subject to DEP approval and this board's approval. In other words, you make it clear that you're not approving these two requests. All you're doing is saying that we give you permission to go forward with designing the system and with amending, but it's all subject to your future approval and DEP's future approval. So you're really not approving anything tonight, you're just, yeah.
I personally feel that I need to do more investigation before I don't know if we can talk to anyone at DEP about this? I mean, is that,
I'm sure Phil would have a.
Phil
Yeah,
could talk to and get something, yeah,
Yeah, we could have Phil.
I think we, yeah.
That'd be fine.
I think we really need to, before
Yeah.
I feel comfortable making any decision.
Yeah.
I granted, I know we're not making any decision,
I'm
but I
totally,
feel
I'm
like I
totally
need to
okay
get
with
more
that.
information from
Yeah.
DEP about this.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with that. I live right around the corner, so
Because I'm
it's
just
no
thinking
problem.
about, you know, the next people, and the next people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And we have no idea how big they're going to make this addition.
It's one bedroom, little kitchenette. It's like an in-law apartment. Yeah. It's like the size of a garage. And there'll be the garage, 2 car, and they'll be living above.
Above it,
Just,
okay.
yeah.
All right. I recommend that we have Phil look into this a little further for
Yeah.
us with DEP.
Our request, would you like 2 weeks or 4 weeks? Request a continuance? Maybe a 2-week continuance? Do you meet every 2 weeks?
Every month.
Every month,
Once a month, all right.
May 6th.
May 6th. Okay,
That's fine.
is that okay? All
Yeah.
right.
All right, see you in a
Thank
month. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think this is your document here.
Oh, it's,
Yeah,
Like my color job?
used a lot of highlighter for that.
it's a good visual.
Hold on to it.
Yeah. Well, it certainly makes a difference when you can actually see it, though.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Thanks.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Thank you. Oh, these, do you want those pictures, or I can stick them to Nancy?
You can put them in the file.
Hmm?
You can put them all
Put
in
them
the
all
file.
together in Nancy's pile. Yep.
It's a new one.
Yeah.
All right. Tufts merger? Was somebody from Tufts
Yeah,
coming?
sure.
Yes, they
Yes,
are.
they are. Okay.
Jean
We actually will be using speakerphone.
For Jean? No, for somebody
Not
else.
Jean.
Valerie, I believe.
Valerie.
Valerie, okay.
You just have to announce that, and she has to announce who she is.
Who she is, yep. All right.
A long time since, I don't know if we've ever, we've done it like one
Check
time, I
with,
think
the
we
front
did.
office, they said you can do that.
Okay.
Yep.
I know we've done it with, we tried to, but then the phone wasn't working. We tried to with a member one time.
Yeah, I remember
we did
that.
try
He was in Florida, I think, or something, right?
Yeah. It was like, it's not working.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go to minutes.
Okay.
I make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from March 11th as written.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can you sign in? Hi.
Hi, good to see you
You too.
Long time no see.
Yeah, yeah.
And just make sure you sign in when you get a chance, Jane.
Yes.
It's over in the back table.
Oh, the back table. I have one permit for solid waste dumpster divers. What a name.
Gets you right to the point, you know?
John's.
Good marketing.
Do we have the phone number for who we have to call?
We do.
Otherwise it's gonna be kinda hard. Little fish.
So the microphone's gonna have to go.
Oh, yeah, maybe I can keep yours, Deb, I guess, maybe move Mike's to there.
Don't break it. You break it, you buy it.
Yeah. Did you check, make sure that's in the budget? All right, I can't reach the
Also,
phone.
Can we dial her, Jean?
What's that?
We're going to dial Valerie.
Yes, yes.
Should I take it off and hit speaker?
You might put it on speaker.
Yep.
I don't hear dial tone though. Should be a dial tone.
This is our second time ever having to
Oh, okay.
use, and we failed the first time because it wasn't letting us dial through for a member to join one time, so
Let's leave it on.
bear with us.
Oh, so at least there's something now.
I think the last time we finally just did it on a cell phone.
Okay.
I think Nancy emailed it, right? I saw when she.
There's extra.
Hello?
Hi, Valerie.
Hello?
Hi, Valerie. Valerie, this is the board at Grafton
Hello?
Board of Grafton Board of Health.
Can you hear us?
No, this might have been the problem we had last time.
I think so. Speaker light's
That's what
on.
Mike.
Mike.
Mike?
Hello?
Can you hear us?
One more time.
Valerie, you there?
Yes, now I hear someone.
Okay.
Okay.
Operator error.
Can
Not
you
used
hear
to
me
the
okay?
phone. Right, so Valerie, this is Karen Gwiazdowski-Govan, Chair of Board of Health. Thanks for joining us for the Tufts IBC. If you can just introduce yourself, so that way we have it on record.
Great. Thank you, everybody, for allowing us to present this. So my name is Valerie Parkinson, and my title is the Director of the IACUC and the IBC. The IACUC stands for Institutional Animal Care and Use Committee, and you know what the IBC stands for.
Valerie, I'm here too, Jean Poteet, the campus planner at the Grafton campus of Tufts.
Oh, you may have to talk a little louder.
You can just tell her that I introduced myself.
And Valerie, Jean, the Grafton campus planner from Tufts is here also.
Yes, hi, Jean.
Hi.
All right, so looks like Tufts wants to merge the two IBCs. And I guess, is there anything specific that you need from us, or is it just more if we have any questions, concerns, et cetera?
Right, I think the recommendation from Tim McInerney was that we sort of float this idea by you all. So that's the reason why we sort of created the request, the letter, you know, the rationale, the presentation for it. I know Valerie has been in the midst of basically trying to make things run more smoothly and efficiently, because she's responsible
You
for
might have to
all.
pull your mic over.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's responsible for all the campuses, so that's one of the reasons for it, as well as the number of protocols that are reviewed by the Grafton IBC are only a little more than 10% of the total. So folks are not getting the breadth of experience that they will be able to, with regular meetings and with a broader kind of range of materials to look at and evaluate, as well as to listen to what their colleagues are opining about, who have different areas of expertise. So I think those are the two main reasons why she's interested in doing it. So Valerie, do you want to add what your sense is as someone who's actually dealing with the administrative issues?
Yeah. Did everybody get the FAQ sheet and the PowerPoint printout, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the basic request comes from if we could merge everything, then we can get rid of the administrative burden from having two different ones, so duplicating all of the regulatory/administrative paperwork from two. And it also helps standardize not only policies, but pre-reviews, inspections, which often involve deadlines and working with other parts of the university, like facilities or the animal care staff. So because all of those things are centralized, it would be easier to have all of the regulatory committees centralized. And this is actually the last one that's not.
So I guess I'm Debbie Chenard. I am a member of the Board of Health. My question, what does that do for our community representatives?
So they would it would be a total merge, really, of
total
both of the
merge.
committees.
Okay.
So the Grafton group would call in video conference whenever we have a meeting. It's what we do with the iCook as well.
And I see that, this is Karen, on the board, I see that it looks like the Grafton members and the FAQ sheet said they were fine with videoing in, since they wouldn't have to travel all of a sudden to
Yeah.
Bedford or
I
Boston.
wouldn't want to do that either.
Yeah, they might have had a different theory if it was like, no, you must drive out here for each meeting.
I guess my other
Yeah,
question.
and Dr. Anwar has also talked to them both about it.
Okay.
Okay, yep. Now, we have a person that comes in and inspects Tufts on an annual basis. What does that do with the merger?
It's all the same, because City of Boston has that as well for the Boston campus.
Okay, so we would continue to have our, as we say, our own inspector
Oh, yeah.
for the Tufts campus
Yep.
in Grafton. Okay.
And John Tonkus is the biosafety officer for Grafton, so nothing changes for his responsibilities either.
Okay. Do you have any other?
So basically this originally started, someone in Grafton said we need to have our own separate IBC in order to open some new division of Tufts. Is that how that was formed?
Yeah, basically when we Gina and I are looking at each other.
Yeah, this is the history was when the regional biosafety laboratory was under construction, there was concern that there be adequate local review and oversight of what was going on there. So at that time, Deb was spending many hours, as was I, looking at developing what is now your biomedical bylaw. It's a regulation in your town bylaws. And it called for an institutional biosafety committee with, I think, two Grafton, two community representatives. So those folks were named. I think they're named. I think there was with the advice of the Board of Health, but they're actually named by the selectmen, if I recall. One member, Andy Cederberg, who is a PhD in physics, has been on that board since the get-go. Yeah. So, you know, it really is a question of as we've, you know, as Valerie and her group have, you know, the research in Medford and in Boston at the medical school and the dental school and out here, they're just trying to, and Boston has slightly different rules than we do, but there's nothing that you know, although those local pieces would remain as local and unique, the administrative part of it, the review of all the protocols and the nature of the research, you know, that's what we're trying to merge to, you know, kind of create some administrative efficiencies. So.
And you were involved from the beginning?
I was in.
Yeah.
You guys are cool.
Yeah, I used to be on the committee back
And Karen as
before
well.
when I
Yeah.
quickly realized, like, I can't get off of work as frequently as I thought I could
Yeah.
to attend.
Yeah. Yeah.
That answers my questions.
So do we need, as a board, need to do anything further?
Well, I think it would be helpful if you maybe, I don't know whether an email or just a letter to the selectmen saying we are not opposed to this, or we support it, or we see, you know, no problems with ensuring that Grafton continues with the oversight that it's comfortable with. I think that would be a helpful move to having the selectmen, you know, just say, sounds fine to us, go ahead. So.
The letter, I think.
I would make a motion.
Yeah.
Okay. I make a motion that we develop a letter that we send to the Board of Selectmen that the Board of Health is in agreement with the proposed merger of the Tufts Grafton and the Boston Medford Institutional Biosafety Committees.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
for
you,
your
Valerie.
time. Have a good evening.
You too.
And thank you for the
Bye-bye.
flexibility of the automatic, or the having her call in, because I know it's not the best. but, yeah. Thank you.
Right, thanks.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again. Great. You're all set with that?
Yes.
So I can
Trade.
switch to that.
Trade. All right. Recommend the-
Do we have anything else? Oh, I do have one other thing before they leave.
Nope. Okay.
So I did go to the last GMA meeting. Okay.
Oh.
Because we had questions after our drill. So I did make sure my name got back on the GMA agenda.
Good.
So Nick apparently had spelt my name wrong, so it had been dropped. But anyways, so Nick is going to look into who is supposed to be
Okay.
responsible for as the coordinator of the drills.
Okay.
The emergency dispensing drills.
Okay.
I brought up some of the questions that were presented when we had the drill of whose responsibility is. So he's going to look into that
Okay.
further.
Okay.
And then I also mentioned how Forrest wants us to update that, so he would be interested in seeing
good.
that
Okay.
updated plan.
Okay.
Because they didn't seem to know as much about it as we thought they did. So,
Okay.
I will keep them up to date. Well, I actually asked that it be put on the next GMA agenda. When-
Perfect.
Right.
Perfect. And typically, Alyssa, it just so
Right,
happens
I
she had a
know, yep.
conflict, but
So-
typically she can go to kind of.
So actually, it was
walk everyone
probably
through.
worked
So that's
okay,
good.
because
Okay.
at least I opened the door for the
Yep.
conversation,
Good.
and then he can get his stuff together, and she
Okay.
can get her stuff.
Great.
So that when we do go next time, we'll actually be able to have a
Great.
good discussion about that.
Okay, that's great.
So I asked him to put it on the next agenda. And Ray Mead, who is the GMER director, was only on phone too.
Okay.
So it was, you know how hard it's
Okay.
when you're on phone to be able to.
Okay,
So
perfect. And I believe there's a Blackstone Valley REPC meeting coming up too, that I believe
Yes.
Alyssa or Ari from our office will be able to attend that meeting.
I think that's this week, I think.
It could be, yeah.
Yes.
Great.
All right, that was the only thing I wanted to, so I think we're all set with you guys?
All right. And we will follow up with Phil to have him coordinate with you and talk to the DEP about that
Great.
11 Putnam.
Thank you.
too. All right. Have a good night.
You too, thanks.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so we have 171 Upton Street. Septic. No upgrades or anything like that, so that's good. Looks like it's tank, leach, looks like pretty straight. There we go. So the corner of stove and spinning. Yeah. There. Okay. There it is. Proposed house,
171 Upton.
Litchfield.
So this is a brand new?
Yeah, proposed.
New construction.
Proposed for. Leach, proposed well, meets. It's fine.
Oh, a lot of wetlands there in the back.
Yeah, it goes off. Fish and Game lives over here
Oh,
afterwards.
okay.
Across from Stowe. What's that one?
Isn't that wetlands? It's not our problem, that's not us, right? I thought this was all.
Yeah, I thought a lot of it
I'm
was.
sorry, may I ask a question?
Yes,
I was supposed to meet Norman Hill on, in
He's-
addition to my house. and I-
he's already come and gone.
Oh, you kidding
It
me?
was, yeah, it was at 6:15.
6:15.
That's what he told me, and I thought it was downstairs.
Oh,
Well, It was for us, how did we do?
Well, we as a board did not feel comfortable making any decision tonight till we talked to somebody from DEP. So we're gonna continue it till we talk to
Yeah.
somebody from
Thank you so
DEP.
much.
yeah, it's the
Yes.
first time we've seen anything
yeah.
like this, so we
I
wanted
know it's a
some.
big- it's a
right.
big bid. He did explain to you what we're doing.
Yes, he did, yes.
The
Yeah.
whole family on the street, I don't want to move. You know? Thank you.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
So yeah,
And
so
what's his
well,
red's over there is all approved.
red, initials approved. Yep, just squeaked in. All right. So it looks
We don't have to make a motion or anything, because it's,
standard.
yep. Oh, so here,
Yep, yeah. I'll say that one. He's all set. So this. That's old.
so Nancy, this was an old permit that's being resubmitted?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I'm like, huh?
Right, because it's,
Several resubmittals.
okay. No correspondence. Some mail for review.
All right. Something that the Grafton Water District, the Trinity Wellfield 4-log certification that we get copied on these. It says it was the DEP's approved the request for 4-log cert. Requires groundwater rule requires all groundwater systems to conduct triggered monitoring of their source water unless the source is certified by DEP. be providing treatment that reliably achieves at least the 4-log treatment of viruses before or at the first customer. Treatment technique, submitting monthly plans, install the new source, 3 wells. So it says water is injected with potassium hydroxide for pH and chlorine gas for disinfection. The 12-inch finished water transmission main has the chlorine analyzer. Finished water required 6.5 mgs per minute. I'm just trying to get to like the analyzer. So there's the following conditions, and they have to, do monitoring requirements. Disinfection system has approved at all times, must be operated. Minimum chlorine residual level at a certain point. Alarm must be set if it's a low chlorine, high flow alarm. Compliance monitoring. Calibration, and then recording the lowest chlorine residual. Then if there's any violations, they have to obviously notify, and then post a notice if anything goes awry, shall we say. So then they just give an example of daily reporting levels. So it's one of these, we don't have to personally do anything. It's something that we get copied on. This one looks like a violation.
Yeah. Follette Street gravel pit, it's an ongoing violation, since 2011. Yeah, looks like it's just notification of continual non-compliance. Yeah, some of these are old. So those were, yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure it probably was from a cleanup from something that used to be
Yep,
back in the day.
yeah, because this is a recent letter, but it
Yeah.
started with a year ago.
Anything else?
No other mail?
So next meeting's May 6th, then June 4th, we have our meeting first from 6 to 7, and then the joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen at 7, then July 1st and August 5th.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.